Classes in session, boys. This is Patrick, Can't Afford College. Today, I'm going to take you through the sales pipeline. Oh, Pat, what's a sales pipeline? I'm glad you asked, Timmy. Sales pipeline is the most important thing if you want to have consistent, groundbreaking, goal-setting, revenue-driving months, month after month. So, let's go through it. What happens a lot of times is people start new methods of doing leads. And maybe it's social media, maybe it's a new marketing campaign, whatever the case may be. And they get all these leads, and they forget one of the main points of sales is that you need to sell yourself and basically become their guy. You know, we talked about this in a previous video. But what happens is they think that everything's going to close the moment they pick up the phone, and that's not what happens. A lot of times people, one, they need to build trust. Two, maybe they're not ready to close. Three, maybe there's a gatekeeper. Or four, the whole process could just take a couple of months. And people just give up, throw the phones down and say, it's not working, move on to the next thing. Or they get pinned down with other options, or the days get too busy, and they just drop the ball entirely. And that can't be the case. So, how does this work? Well, the first thing is that you need to consistently stick to your leads. Doesn't matter how they're coming in. All that matters right now is getting leads, getting opportunities to fill your pipeline. Now, once you get these opportunities, you call them, you email them, and you start your whole sales process. But for your pipeline, you're not looking to close everything in that month. You are looking, as this blue arrow shows, to slowly but consistently add new leads and new opportunities every single month so you get to a point where you have consistent opportunity every month that's causing you consistent revenue. But what happens if you stop being consistent? You just lose a revenue stream and you have to basically start all over again. So what happens a lot of times is in my business, I have a bunch of B2B reps. We'll grand slam it out of the park, but they'll just stop doing the daily tasks that they need to do to work this pipeline or work their funnels. And what happens is we get a lull. And the moment you get a lull or a break in the pipeline, you have to restart it, and it just friggin' sucks. Nothing is worse than losing money. But you need to form a system. So my system, for instance, is on Sundays. I go through and I target businesses or opportunities from my leads that I want to go. I do a lot of my leads from social media, TikTok, things like that. So I go through everything and I put it all onto my customer log. Then what I do on Mondays is I go through that customer log. I look for the opportunity. I highlight specifically what I want to go after. I'll email, cold call, whatever I need to do, introduce myself, and just start the rapport. So basically, my first month leads that I'm getting when I'm starting this process, I'm probably not going to close any of them until month 3. But I'm doing this every single week of every single month. So I'm right now in month 5, where I have consistent output. But the problem is people don't get consistent and they don't develop a process. If you want a successful pipeline, you need to have a process. Your process should comprise of no more than 3 hours a week. At least I don't think you need more time than that. Maybe you do. But identify what you want to go after, how you want to go after it, and what your follow-up is going to be. And you do that every single week. And eventually, you're going to be in month 4 or 5 making huge mountains of revenue. Trust the process. It works. But now is the most important part. Do not get discouraged. Like I said earlier, people just stop, they get sick, something happens, and maybe they're doing good, maybe it's beginning to give them a little bit of money, and they quit. The moment you quit, this funnel is dead. Terrible. You can't let that happen. Come hell or high water, you need to stick to this pipeline. Salespeople just get discouraged and they give up. You cannot give up. If you're at Can't Afford College, you're here because you want to be a monster and prove people wrong. You've got to be obsessed. Do not be average, to quote Grant Cardone. So, this is how you work a sales pipeline. Drop your questions below. Have a great day. We'll see you next week.